your today's special. You're going to see a live look at not only how he makes the world's finest vitamins, but it's going to be your last chance to get our best buy of the day. So here it is, final opportunity and the last show, our live remote broadcast from ProCaps Laboratories. Say what an awesome day thanks to our dear friend Andrew Lessman, and we are wrapping up our big remote.
This is we had a fun and busy January, and we're having a wonderful Today Special today. Thank goodness we manufacture all of the products, because virtually all of the sizes, all of the glucosamine, most of the turmeric, all of the bundles were gone.
Yeah,
we were entirely sold out. But we're going to be busily making all of the products. So as with everything, it's always extremely fresh when you get it. We've always made it within a matter of just a couple of weeks before you receive it. But literally, we'll be making it over the next couple of days and rushing it to HSN to be shipped to you.
I mean, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. And of course, Andrew will give you that behind-the-scenes tour of the magic and how he makes it all happen with his state-of-the-art facility and, of course, his gorgeous broadcast studio. And we really want to invite you, if you are looking for the perfect opportunity to make a great decision for your health. Andrew and I were just talking about the process of aging, and while we're all getting older, to me, it's not just, you know, the years in our life, it's the life in our years. And actually, glucosamine is a good way to kind of keep that, you know, spring in our step as we get older.
Well, as we look at certain things that are really defining of our age.
Yes.
And one of those things, of course, is how well our brain works. Another one of those things is, you know, how well our skin looks in terms of wrinkles and whatnot. And of course, interesting enough, glucosamine and chondroitin help with all of that. It helps with at least certainly the skin part, because the flexibility and elasticity of the skin also relies on glucosamine and chondroitin. But we often think in terms of how we move around. It's always interesting when you see someone who's in their 80s, and I just watched it, I think it was in a 60-minute segment not that long ago. My mom had sent it to me, and it was looking at people in their 80s and 90s and the unique attributes about how they live. They were doing brain scans and looking at their brain and things. But just the ability when you're 80, 85 years old to, like, sit in a chair, stand right up, sit in a chair, stand right up. That's really mean to do to the camera.
They followed you really well.
They did a good job. But it's one of those things that, as we get older, that sort of spry ability to move around, we tend to lose that agility. Our balance suffers. Very important to take vitamin D, because that decreases the risk of falling, something that happens just as we get a little bit older. So it's very important, if we value, I think, the quality of our life, it's important to make sure that we take care of our joints. And glucosamine, chondroitin, these are not fluffy ingredients without any science, without any medical or clinical support. These are serious ingredients. And I apologize if you really wanted me to read reviews all day long, because we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wonderful reviews on this product at hsn.com. But I've devoted most of the time going over the science. And that is the most important thing about this product, because I think if you see how credible these ingredients are, if you see how tested they've been in a clinical setting, you'll be willing to give it a try. Unfortunately, most of the glucosamine that you're going to see out in the marketplace is designed to not work. The formula is specifically violating the research that it's supposedly emulating. In other words, the research talks about glucosamine sulfate. They use glucosamine hydrochloride. Unfortunately, most consumers don't understand the subtlety of the chemistry of glucosamine to understand that glucosamine hydrochloride is not the same as glucosamine sulfate. It's a cheap imitation that manufacturers will use because they can make a cheaper product. And unfortunately, it's a product that's not going to deliver. It's not going to give you the benefits you seek. We follow the research. We follow the research in terms of the form, quality, the amount, the quantity. We follow the research specifically, which I believe is why this product, when you look at the reviews on this product, if someone orders glucosamine chondroitin, they expect to see, feel, notice a difference in the way their joints function, the way their joints feel. And if you read those reviews, over 90% of those reviews are positive reviews. And that is, I think, a very powerful statement of how you can expect this product to deliver.
Absolutely. Speaking of those reviews, over 1,200 reviews on that glucosamine alone. Basically, over 90% are perfect. I mean, really, 4.6 stars, which is pretty amazing, right, because this is a feel-the-difference product. And so the choices are very easy. Basically, you choose either the glucosamine and chondroitin, or the turmeric or ginger root with the ginger root, or you can do what what most of our friends are doing today, and that's get the bundle, basically.
Almost 2/3 of the orders are bundles, I think. Certainly more than
Yes.
half the orders are bundles today. So you could choose one of 3 sizes of the glucosamine chondroitin. You could choose one of 3 sizes of turmeric ginger. Or you could choose bundles that combine each of those 3 sizes. So it's your choice. The most popular by far, of course, is the largest bundle. What we've also done that's special, we did this once before and the response was great, so we did it again. If you get either of the large sizes individually, because we didn't make a super duper large size, the second bottle has $10 off on either of the large sizes individually. So it's like getting a better savings on an even larger size. And on the extra large bundle, when you get the large bundle, you get $20 off on a second. And say if a few people are sharing in a household, even a third bottle is going to come with $20 off. So it's an opportunity. We're already at the best pricing ever for glucosamine and chondroitin, which is saying a lot because I've been doing it for 35 years. And with those extra savings, it just makes it even better.
It does indeed. So I'll take you on a tour of your sizes and your big savings. But of course, this is the last 2 hours. We've got a lot planned for you. Of course, more of Lincoln, more behind the scenes. And of course, you really get to see this amazing facility in action. But if you are looking to grab this is certainly no better time than the present. And Andrew's absolutely right. When you do what we call our bonus buy, it's so smart. And that's why the bundles are so brilliant, because this is a product that you will be compelled to take absolutely every single day. And when you think about the abuse that your joints take over the course of a lifetime, and that's your back, that's your neck, that's your fingers, that's your toes, that's your knees. That's why I really encourage you, if you can read some of those reviews, really they make you want to cry. I mean, when I'm talking about a quality of life product, there is absolutely no reason to reorder this product, which incidentally, when you see that little clicker flying, the majority of the people who are calling today are people who have already tried it like me and love it and use it. So if you are discovering Andrew Lessman for the very first time, or if you're like me, this is absolutely the best time to stock up. So once more, choose either glucosamine and chondroitin, turmeric and ginger root, or you can do the bundles. So on the glucosamine, of course, we've got our 90, our 300, and our 600. On the turmeric ginger root, we have our 60, our 200, and our 400. But as Andrew was saying, more than 2/3 of those of you who have chosen to select it today are doing the bundles, and with very good reason. You know, we get spoiled by Andrew. He loves you. He loves his customer. That's why he really takes you on. No one manufactures vitamins in the way that Andrew does, and you'll see that for yourself as we do this live tour. In fact, I mentioned it last night, but the people that you see in the background are not actors. They are not paid participants. They're really the little elves that make this happen for Andrew. So it's really an amazing opportunity. Nobody is making vitamins in the way that Andrew is doing. We like to call this the world's largest vitamin classroom because he is the world's foremost authority on supplements, and he's giving us education, and you know knowledge is power. And yes, the savings are significant, and I know Andrew's going to go through the testimonials and the science, but when you think about it, basically, it's like getting the turmeric for free. When you do the bundles, it's basically like getting one or the other for free.
Right. I was just busy reading some of the science charts here, but did I hear you say that there were elves in the back?
They probably wouldn't like me calling them elves.
No, but what is funny, this year, the Christmas theme at our house was, on the Christmas tree, were owls and elves. So I called it the owls Christmas. They're a little spooky when you have elves hanging off your Christmas tree. Just a little, but Muriel liked that, so it was okay. But so these are real people. These are not elves, and they work very, very hard.
They do. They're a great team.
And as you've seen from actually all of the last probably 15, 20 Today specials we've had, and we tend to do one Today special when we come, and we only come for 6 hours at a time, and we're only here 4 times a year, but we always end up with orders that are far more than the product we bring in. As much as we plan, each year it seems to grow because of the reorders, and it's the folks here that make it possible for us to respond to the unexpected demand, the unexpected volume, and get you the product, because I want to make sure when we have this extra special pricing once a year, because this volume allows us to do things like this, I want to make sure that everyone who wants to save gets an opportunity to save.
Absolutely, and I don't want to go too far off the beaten path, but when you see glucosamine in your store, and you do, it's not made like this. And I know you've been approached by people to have it in stores, but you would never, you can't control the quality like you do here.
Over the years, I've been asked to, you could look at our most popular products, Healthy Hair, Skin and Nails, Essential 1, Glucosamine, Chondroitin, Coenzyme Q10, to have them at retail and stores. And certainly that would grow my business dramatically, but I'm not here to grow my business dramatically. I'm here to make sure that everyone who decides to embrace the quality and the information about our products, does so having a relationship with us. And when you get it directly from my company, you get it from HSN, it's having a relationship directly with us. And that's the way I want it, not sitting on some store shelf or some warehouse for months or Lord knows years at a time. That's not my way of offering my products to you. But I was going to read some charts here that I haven't gone through all of these. I went through a few of these. These are the basic summaries on glucosamine and chondroitin. And I think the one thing you're going to be left with is that these ingredients are not some fluffy little nutritional ingredients, but these are serious biochemical constituents, components of the critical tissues in our body that we rely on to move around. Our joints, our mobility, our flexibility, our ability to enjoy our life really is closely linked to our joints. I know and I often train very hard, if I train too hard and I injure myself, it's devastating because exercising is part of my life. So it's not something that we want to see us lose that as a result of the aging process, which can happen. Our joints are very challenged, and the more challenged they are, what I say is the more they're already telling us they need our support. And the only support to give them isn't just pharmaceutical support. These products work hand in hand. These are not drugs or medicines. They work hand in hand no matter what the state of your joints are. Excellent or challenged, these products are going to deliver the ingredients your body needs to constantly maintain, repair, replenish those tissues. So as we start here, just the first chart really sums it up to a great extent, a large extent. More than 19,500 papers have been published just on glucosamine alone. More than 17,000 papers have been published on chondroitin. That's a lot of papers, 36,500. More than 1,200 papers have been published on both used together. So now we're talking about, what is that, about 37,700 papers? That's a lot of papers. And then combined, more than 2,600 clinical trials, meta-analyses, and systematic reviews have also been published. What I said earlier today, I'm not sure how many medicines that we trust and we know are wonderful medicines have been subject to the same kind of commentary and review.
I was just thinking that.
That's a tremendous amount of commentary and review. And of course, totally safe, natural ingredients. Right. Glucosamine and chondroitin play a critical role providing both strength and flexibility to the following body tissues. Of course, we start off connective tissue. We know that. Cartilage, tendons, ligaments, synovial fluid, critical for the functioning of our joints, but also bone. Also our blood vessels and arteries and veins, maintaining their flexibility over the course of our lifetime. Our heart valves, which, think of the job a heart valve has, closing off various chambers of our heart as each one functions independently from the other, and it has to be a good closure. Those valves have to be incredibly strong, incredibly flexible, and heart valves rely on glucosamine and chondroitin for their unique properties. And then, of course, our hair and nails, and also our eyes. So this is our highest potency of the most important and well-researched natural joint support ingredients, glucosamine and chondroitin. Delivers the optimum dose for maximum benefits of 1,500 milligrams of glucosamine sulfate, 1,200 milligrams of chondroitin sulfate. Some products say they deliver that and don't. Most products deliver glucosamine hydrochloride, HCl, not the sulfate, because HCl is much cheaper. It contains only the sulfate forms, very important, of glucosamine and chondroitin, not the less desirable and less effective HCl form. So continuing a uniquely all-sulfate, 100% sodium-free, most joint products will contain a sodium salt, typically of chondroitin, unfortunately. Our formula is also additive-free. No binders, no fillers, no colors, no preservatives. They're made entirely using solar energy. There's no product made like this in the world. Our unique sodium-free formula provides the optimum potency and the ideal all-sulfate forms of both glucosamine and chondroitin. Sadly, the characteristics on this product, in terms of its purity, in terms of the source of ingredients, the amount of ingredients, you cannot find it in a discount store, a pharmacy, supermarket. You'll find pretenders, but you won't find something made with the same discipline as this. These vital structural molecules are required for our joints to retain their elasticity and healthy structure. As we age, glucosamine is formally registered and approved as a tool to support joint health in more than 70 countries. Glucosamine's benefits are recognized by health professionals and used by millions of people worldwide. Glucosamine's benefits have been clearly and visibly demonstrated by radiographic, that means things like x-rays, seeing the difference, joint imaging, Glucosamine and chondroitin help to protect, repair, rebuild, and renew cartilage in joints that suffers normal wear and tear over time. That's what we all want. If we don't get the right glucosamine and the right chondroitin in the formula, as much as we want it, we won't get it. Glucosamine, chondroitin, and sulfate, all three are essential structural and functional components for the normal, healthy repair of connective tissue and cartilage. And as I was saying before, the sulfate forms of glucosamine and chondroitin have been the most heavily researched of any natural joint support ingredient, not the cheaper, inferior, and all but inactive HCl form. Despite abundant clinical proof of the sulfate form's absolute superiority, the undesirable HCl form is used by most manufacturers only because it is cheaper. I have a couple more here. Studies have shown that glucosamine sulfate to be the only reliable and the preferred form of glucosamine. Both glucosamine and sulfate possess independent activity and benefits for joint structures. The HCl form of glucosamine reduces or eliminates any benefits delivered by the clinically established sulfate form. I tend to spend a lot of time on that because, unfortunately, it wasn't this way 10 or 15 years ago, but now the hydrochloride form, because it's cheaper and because manufacturers and retailers know that consumers don't know any better. So they'll sell the cheap stuff, even though it doesn't work. So people think they're getting a bargain, but they're really getting what they pay for. They're not even getting what they're paid for because you shouldn't pay anything for glucosamine hydrochloride. The only thing you want for your joints is glucosamine sulfate. That's the only form of glucosamine I've used in 35 years of doing glucosamine. We're not new to this. It's a new ingredient over the last 10, 15 years or so to other companies. For me, 35 years of offering a glucosamine product.
Well, and that's why this is such a smart decision to make. I mean, it really is. I know we learned so much from Andrew. That's why we call this the world's largest vitamin classroom. And if we really care about how we spend our money, and certainly we care about our good health, there is no finer glucosamine product in the world. And that's why I know you'll leave this show armed with information. But like Andrew said, and other people are not doing glucosamine like this. So it's really important that if you're going to bother to spend your money, you get the right one. And that's just it. You're bothering to watch this show, not only because you're learning, and I know it's fascinating and fun to see the behind-the-scenes tour of how these amazing products all come to you, but more importantly, this is a product that delivers results. It truly is, and significantly is, a feel-the-difference product. And that's why I really want to encourage you, if you have a moment to go to hsn.com and read some of those 1,217 reviews, it really is awe-inspiring. It's jaw-dropping when you consider how this product is transforming how people live. And that's really what the glucosamine and chondroitin is all about. It's how we live our lives. And it just happens to be at the best savings ever. Andrew does this once a year and once a year only, but I have to say, because I wait for this, I will never be a day without this product. The whole idea is that, in fact, I just heard we've actually almost tripled what we anticipated in terms of doing, but basically our price triples after the show. So if you want to take a look at your sizing here, again.
And the normal, by the way, the normal pricing on this, that's 350 days a year,
right,
is wonderful pricing, is great pricing. It's just when we do a today's special, the volume, the efficiencies with which we can buy the raw materials and with which we can perform the work necessary to produce the product enables us to offer this kind of savings, and that's what we love to do once a year with each of our key products, and hopefully it allows you to have whatever money you designate in your vitamin purchasing budget. It makes sure you get the most benefits for whatever you're investing.
Absolutely. And don't forget about that bonus buy. So remember, it's very simple and straightforward. Choose glucosamine and chondroitin, or of course choose your turmeric, ginger root, or do the bundles. Now if you do the large size of either glucosamine or turmeric, you can get $10 off, which is great because well, I know you're going to be sharing this in the family, but if you do the bundles, if you do a second bundle, because for a lot of you, you're going to be sharing this with your husband.
And I forgot to mention, I keep forgetting to mention, the chondroitin, the glucosamine chondroitin that you're looking at today, it's 4 capsules per day. It was 5 capsules per day, but as we get better and better and better at manufacturing products without additives, because unlike other companies, we don't throw it into a tablet with binders and fillers and make these huge horse pills. We put the powders into a small capsule, ultrafine powders into a small capsule. There's no lubricants that we use, there's no flowing agents that we use, it's just pure nutrients, pure benefits in a capsule. So we have been able now, the low humidity of Nevada allows us to do this, we have been able now to reduce the capsule count, still the same amount of nutrients, to 4. So now when you're looking at that 600 capsule, many people probably watching think, oh, that's a 120-day supply. No, it's a 150-day supply. Also, to truly get the benefits of glucosamine and chondroitin, unless you're talking about enormous horse tablets, you're going to have to be swallowing. If you're taking both, you're going to have to be swallowing at least several tablets or several capsules. If you're not, then you're not getting what you need, or it's a pill the size of my thumb.
Yeah.
So it's just the basic, simple facts that when you're looking at these ingredients, actually the glucosamine, you're actually getting more than 1,500 of glucosamine sulfate. It's delivering 1,500 of glucosamine. So when you're looking at the ingredients here, you're getting more than 3 grams of active ingredients with this product. 3 grams, 3,000 milligrams. That would be a few enormous tablets, or in our case, it's 4 small, easy-to-swallow capsules.
Indeed. So best savings ever. And I know we're so busy, and we just really want to thank you for being part of this live show. This is it, though. So if you've got your Andrew Lessman shopping list like I do, there's absolutely no better time than the present. So in terms of your savings, and Andrew's right, I mean, ordinarily we do great pricing to begin with. Yeah. But if you consider just for a moment, now again, this is the glucosamine, 90, 300, or 600. Normally that 600 count is about $238, which is a great price, I mean, on an ordinary basis. If you're doing that big bundle, and of course, overwhelmingly, that's what most of you are doing, what's interesting is it's actually going to be more money, I mean, after today, basically, to buy just the glucosamine, and you're actually getting the turmeric for free.
The glucosamine, you're talking about, with 600 capsules, you're talking about 5 months of glucosamine.
Right.
So you're getting 5 months of glucosamine, and literally it ends up costing less than $20. And I'm frequently asked this question, whether you need to take 4 capsules. If you want to embrace all the wonderful benefits in the research, and the research really expounds on just wonderful benefits we could experience, yes, you need to take the 4 capsules daily. That's what I do, that's what I've always done. But there are many people who say taking 2 capsules daily, they do wonderfully. Perhaps that's simply because our forms of glucosamine and chondroitin are so bioavailable, are so active, that they're getting a combination of the two that might be half the ideal dose, but it's still an exceptional dose. Nonetheless, I would have to say, just as I would say with any nutrient or any lifestyle, a little exercise is better than none. A little bit of a healthy diet, eating healthy meals once in a while, is better than never eating a healthy meal. And if you can't afford 4 capsules of glucosamine daily, which is what the science and the clinical studies recommend, this is, again, not like a drug where you have to take a certain amount or it's all or nothing. This is an opportunity. You will still get benefit. You just won't get the benefits. You'll still be providing the structural raw material your joints require. You just won't be providing at the levels that the clinical studies provide the obvious benefits.
Absolutely, and all in an easy-to-swallow format. I mean, that's just it, because a lot of these other companies, first of all, they're not doing glucosamine like this, but if it's bound up in a hard tablet, and some of them even cheat and make it look like a capsule.
Oh, they make tablets,
right,
and then they color them with gelatin, and often they'll color them with 2 halves of gelatin that look different colors.
Right.
So it looks like a capsule, because they know, you know, a lot of the over-the-counter drugs do this. They know that consumers prefer capsules. They're easier to swallow. They're easier on the stomach. We don't have to masquerade it or camouflage it into being a capsule. It is a capsule. It's a clear capsule. It's a small capsule. I'll open it, and you'll see the wonderful ultra-fine powder.
Now, that's all pure product.
And that's all you're seeing there is your glucosamine and chondroitin. You're not seeing anything else.
Nope.
Which, in and of itself, making a statement like that, to take a nutritional supplement and being able to show it to you as it exists, the same as you'll get it at home, and to say the only thing you're getting, and I'm going to open the capsule from the turmeric and ginger,
nice.
And the only thing you're getting, the turmeric and ginger.
Beautiful.
That's it. So it is a privilege to be able to say that. It's a unique privilege. Other products can't say that. And when you're putting something in your body, you don't want to be putting additives in your body. It's just not what you want to do.
It's not. And remember, it is today and today only, and it's so great to have you here with us. I know we learned so much from Andrew, but please take a moment to make that decision for your good health. When you think about your quality of life and you really think about how you're moving, and that, for a lot of us, that defines youth. If your joints are keeping you from doing the things that you love or doing the things that you want, or maybe even affecting your livelihood or your job. I mean, so many of us rely on our joints working well for our daily lives. If you're not golfing, if you're not walking with the kids, if you're not getting up, I mean, basically your joints take a beating over the course of a lifetime, and fingers, toes, knees, back, neck, whatever it might be, read some of those reviews. I know they're truly moving, and that is not to underestimate the value of the turmeric and the ginger root as well. Not only for your joints, but for your nervous system, for your digestive system, for your liver. I mean, so even for your skin. So turmeric and ginger root, he's never done that as a Today's Special before. So I'll take you on a tour of your sizing and your pricing, and just remember, everything expires after this show. That's why it's great to have your little Andrew Lessman list like I do, because that allows us to get this one day only. It's a one-day opportunity where you can take advantage of not only great pricing, but free shipping as well. So choose glucosamine and chondroitin, or ginger root turmeric, or choose your bundles. And remember, the savings are significant. You know, even on what we call our economy sizes, those are some of the biggest sizes that I've seen, even on the introductory sizes.
Well, they're not sizes that you'll typically see in...
Right.
You know, in a store. Maybe it's some of the big box discount stores where the vitamins thing, they become literally commodities. The vitamin E is in forms that I would not ever, in my worst nightmare, would not put in my body. And most of the products, I would look at the forms they come in, and that's exactly what I'd say. So despite these products being in large sizes and being affordable, also, I don't know, I think Lincoln wants out.
I think he does.
He's smelling at the door. What's up, buddy? So
he's like, Dad, aren't we done with this yet?
This is my little guy, Lincoln. He's half Australian Shepherd, half Poodle. So, and he's here for the shows. He could be here because we're isolated. We call it our little fishbowl studio. We're isolated in our studio in the middle of the manufacturing floor. So, in case you didn't realize this. What I do is I make vitamins, and I've been making vitamins for 35 years. So you are actually in the facility where the vitamins are made. This is a broadcast where all the energy from the broadcast comes from solar energy, because we generate more power actually than we use. So it's a very unique approach to making vitamins. And we thought, you know, we're so proud of this facility, and most companies, I think, you don't realize that when you get their vitamins, they didn't make them.
No.
It's their brand. They're a smart marketing or advertising company, but they didn't make them. We make everything. So everything you get is made in this facility here. A little bit later in the show, we'll do a little stroll around the facility, and you'll get to see some of the spaces where all those products are produced. So we're unique. The products are even more unique. So if you wanted a product, and we're all stuck. We were talking about this earlier, just before we came down here, that aging, I won't use the word I was going to use. Aging,
I think I know which one you were going to use.
Begins with an S.
Right.
Aging is difficult. It's difficult, and I'm on the way on the other side of 50 now, and I'm a guy who lives to be active. Aging is difficult. But I want to make sure that I age as gracefully as I possibly can. And that means that I preserve as many of the faculties, whether it's in my brain or my ability to move around and be active, as I had in my youth. Because I think our ability to think quickly and interact and enjoy life and laugh, that's obviously our brain, those are things that enrich our lives. And being able to move around and enjoy activities, either ourselves or with those we love, that enriches our life, whether it's just going shopping or going out dancing or going to the movies, whatever it might be, or being able to travel and visit different places. Our mobility is everything if we want to enjoy those kinds of activities. So glucosamine and chondroitin are the ingredients that your body relies on. Your body produces them throughout your life. But as we get older, we struggle to keep up with the requirements of a lifetime of literally damaged joint tissue. That's what we do to our joints. And you add to the fact that most of us are now overweight, and that adds even more of a burden. So Muriel's going to take Lincoln for a walk. Bye, Link. He'll come back.
Okay.
So again, and even Muriel's taking Lincoln for a walk. Lincoln gets his glucosamine on a daily basis. I put a capsule in his food. Lincoln weighs about 35 pounds. And Lincoln also gets his Friendly Flora, his Ultimate Eye. He takes many supplements, but dogs are like us, except we know our pets, they have an accelerated lifespan. But our lifespan might seem longer, but you could look around you at people who are 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years older than you are, and you get a sense of what's in front of you. And hopefully that's just a gentle nudge to do things that come without side effects. And most of us already have challenges with our joints anyhow. And it was me when I was in my 20s and already had challenges in my joints that I've been taking glucosamine for about 36 years. That's when I started taking it. because I knew at that point, being an athlete, that it wasn't going to get any easier for me. And fortunately, by doing so for my whole life, I believe that the reason my joints function as well as they do is because they haven't gone a day without glucosamine and chondroitin over the last 35 plus years, 36 years.
Well, and I think that's interesting because if you look at Andrew, first of all, I mean, you would think you were easily a decade to 15 years younger. And part of that is not only because you look so young, but you live a young lifestyle. And I think for a lot of us out there, when you're doing the right things, when you're making the right decisions, it allows you to keep doing the things that you love. And to me, that is the fountain of youth, is being able to get in a chair, up the stairs, you know, like you say,
right.
Shopping. I mean, to me, that is, you know, the essence of youth in a way.
Oh, I mean, there's still silly things in my house. There's this flight of like 6 stairs, and I still expect to go up them in 2 jumps.
Right.
Eventually, you'll probably see me coming on stage with a big bruise on my face, and it might be in a few years when I didn't quite make it. But I think we still have, at least for me, I'm funny, I have runs that I've done or bike rides I've done for over 30 years, and I know how fast I did them then, and I know how fast I want to do them now. We all have expectations or desires for what the future is going to hold for us. And even the most modest expectations of mobility require that we care for our joints. Because when we're in our 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, life becomes unforgiving if you don't give your body what it needs to take care of itself. But what I was going to do is read some quotes from the science. I promise, I know I've been getting comments that I haven't read reviews. I think I've read 7 reviews all day. The product reviews, they're all glowingly positive. They are just over-the-top positive. And I'll read them later, but I think the most important thing I can do is read the science. And we'll talk about the reviews a little bit later. Even better thing to do is go to hsn.com. This way, at your leisure, you could read the almost 1,000, I think, 5-star reviews. I mean, there's an incredible number of reviews. And to think about a product, glucosamine chondroitin, that's ordered because you want to make a difference in your joints, and the feedback we get is 90+% positive, I think that's a confidence booster. And of course, all of my products come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And the other thing that's interesting to note, my products have the lowest return rate of any products at HSN. And here I am on air. I know at HSN I used to make them uncomfortable 17, 18 years ago, reminding everyone that they could return the product. They said, don't do that. And I would say, but I don't want anyone to keep the product unless they love the product. And I think when you try my products, and you'll see in these reviews if we get to them, the word love is used often in describing how people feel about the products. So let's go over a little bit of science. I think it's important. Journal of the American Medical Association, a rather conservative and respected medical journal, I would say. Clinical trials of glucosamine sulfate and chondroitin sulfate preparations in supporting joint health have demonstrated moderate to large beneficial effects. So this ingredient that's not a drug, not a medicine, no side effects, moderate to large beneficial effects. If there was a drug you could take that would deliver moderate to large beneficial effects, you'd be pretty excited. And mind you, when you take a drug, it deals with symptoms. It doesn't necessarily deal with the underlying problem. All glucosamine deals with is the underlying structure. I think that's even better. And moderate to large beneficial effects, I think that's fantastic. And that's from the Journal of the American Medical Association. Both glucosamine sulfate and chondroitin sulfate have been proven to be safe and effective in supporting the health of the joints. Proven is a strong word to be put in a medical journal, and safe and effective are not things you sort of say idly.
Right.
So again, that should give you confidence. And the forms we use are the forms that the science has been talking about. Journal of Rheumatology. Glucosamine sulfate and chondroitin sulfate have been consistently, another strong word, consistently shown to support the health of the joints. Chondroitin sulfate is effective in supporting the health of the joints on its own. However, it has also been shown to enhance glucosamine sulfate's joint support benefits. So they both work well on their own. Together they work even better. So, and these are ingredients that you'll notice the difference in less than 30 days. But the incredible thing about glucosamine and chondroitin, just as it takes a lifetime to do whatever it is we do to our joints, the gradual wear and tear to our joints, Glucosamine and chondroitin, it continue to reveal their benefits over time. Because remember, your joints are constantly remodeling themselves. They're constantly repairing and regenerating themselves. So when you're constantly providing a better supply of the tools and the raw materials, there's a constant improvement. And so that's the one thing you'll see in the reviews if we get to them, and read them at hsn.com, is benefits are seen short term, but then you'll see people who came back and reviewed it again a year later, 2 years later, and talked about how much better they felt even subsequently. But as we continue here, from the American Family Physician, unlike many supplements that reach the market completely untested in clinical trials, glucosamine has been the subject of considerable research. So most supplements haven't been the subject of a lot of clinical research. The ones I offer tend to be the subject, but glucosamine is probably among the most researched. Glucosamine is available in multiple forms. The most common are glucosamine hydrochloride and glucosamine sulfate. We'll see a chart a little while that says avoid the hydrochloride, only get the sulfate. From the American Medical Association, glucosamine sulfate is the first line of defense in supporting the health of the joints, according to the current scientific and regulatory recommendations. That's a rather powerful statement. Our results suggest that the long-term administration of daily oral glucosamine sulfate at the minimal dose, not a big dose, of 1,500 milligrams, that's exactly what we provide, supports the health of joint cartilage. The Journal of Family Practice, a combination of glucosamine and chondroitin should be considered viable first-line joint support nutrients. Be sure to tell your patients, remember this is a medical journal for doctors, so they're telling the doctors, be sure to tell your patients to purchase glucosamine sulfate, not glucosamine hydrochloride. Hydrochloride is what you see in supermarkets and tends to see in the mass market, whereas glucosamine sulfate is all I have ever used in 35 years of offering glucosamine. From Current Concepts, glucosamine sulfate is one of the most studied dietary supplements available today. In the last 30 years, many trials have been conducted and published on the effects of glucosamine on the signs and symptoms of osteoarthritis. And as I've often said, we all start wearing our joints the minute we're crawling around as infants. And then we stand up and a whole different world of stress on our joints continues. So over the course of our lifetime, it's just a world of wear and tear. Imagine if you had a door or some mechanical thing that you expected to last 80, 90, 100 years without ever replacing it. You'd think that was the most incredible invention imaginable. That's our bodies. We expect our bodies to continue performing perfectly for our lifetime. And that lifetime is 80, 90, 100 years nowadays. So we have some lofty expectations. I think if we have those expectations, we should give a little assistance to the body that we're demanding it from.
We should indeed. And a case in point, when you see that little clicker flying, again, 2/3 of the quantity are the big bundle, which obviously any size you choose, regardless of whether you're doing the chondroitin and glucosamine or if you're doing the turmeric ginger root, huge savings. But basically, if you do the bundles in any size, for all intents and purposes, it's like you're getting that turmeric and ginger root for free. But when you see that clicker, the thing you need to be aware of, yes, it's a Feel the Difference products, but most of those of you who are selecting it are reorders. And I can tell you for a fact, you really notice what a difference this makes in your life when you run out of it. And I can tell you, I will never be without this. So if your joints are talking to you, if it's more than a whisper, if your joints are keeping you from doing what you want in your lifestyle, if it's hard to get out of a chair, if it's hard to go up the stairs, if you just find even carrying your purse or carrying a baby or carrying a toddler around, you know if your joints are talking to you, it's affecting your quality of life. And that's why, to Andrew's point, we certainly encourage you to read some of the reviews at hsn.com. But there is no better time than the present to make that life-changing decision. And what I think is interesting about the charts that Andrew just shared with you, he was talking about how what many people do is, certainly I know you leave this show armed with information, but if you have tried somebody else's glucosamine and not gotten results, it's because you are not getting the proper forms. It's probably not being presented in a usable fashion so your body can actually make use of the money that you're spending. And that's why you really feel a difference with this product. So I really hope that you take an opportunity to make that choice, and certainly any way you go is a great savings. So of course on the big bundles, that's where you're going to see our biggest savings. Hello, Linky. He's back.
Linky's back. Hey, bud. Hi, bud.
I love having him out here. I always say that he should do every show with us. That's what I think.
He should come to Florida.
He should come to Florida. We've been talking about that for years. I know. We would love that. But of course, most of the quantities are that big bundle. And remember, all of this pricing, the special purchase pricing, the free shipping on anything that you choose does expire after this show. So if you've got your Andrew Lessman list, I certainly encourage you to try this. Remember, for all intents and purposes, our price triples after this broadcast. So we do great savings. I mean, obviously great savings. I mean, normally on that 600 count, that's a great savings when you consider that this is the world's finest glucosamine. But for all intents and purposes, that's why most of us are getting that bundle. You can see it's actually less money to get the bundle, or basically the turmeric, for free. This is what you get basically for free, than it will be to get just that 600 count after today. Turmeric, same thing. You can see basically whether you're choosing the 60, the 200, or the 400. And I know we haven't had a lot of time to talk about it, but for your liver, for your joints, for your brain, for your skin, even a multitude of benefits. Basically, there it's like you're getting the chondroitin for free.
Yeah, our turmeric and ginger, our turmeric on its own, our ginger on its own, we've had them for quite some time. They're both products that are almost perfectly reviewed products. And because those are the two botanicals, the two plant-based products, that if you're looking for a natural, soothing ingredient for your joints, and most of us are looking for some additional opportunity to provide those soothing benefits to our joints, we might be using different medications for that purpose, which is all fine. You could always show these to your doctors. These are just natural ingredients. So if you're looking for an additional tool that can help be soothing for your joints, like he's walking around here in the studio, then turmeric and ginger are really the first line of defense in that regard. Glucosamine and chondroitin are the structural components that, because they are so integral to the structure of your joints, play a multitude of roles in terms of how your joints are going to function and how your joints are going to feel. So I just grabbed some of the reviews. I know I've been really bad about reading any of the reviews, but I just grabbed some, and I probably have a couple of hundred charts here, so I've only read 7, so we shouldn't let all those charts go to waste. I'll try to read some now. We'll have an abbreviated airing in the 10 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock Eastern time, and then that's going to be it. This is the price basically, as Shannon said earlier, the price basically almost triples after that. Still a great price, but not the wonderful once-a-year today special pricing. So as we see here, this is from Christine in Pennsylvania. This stuff definitely helps my knees. I was oblivious to it at first, but I suddenly realized that my knees no longer make any crunchy sounds when going up and down stairs. I mean, not at all. My doctor recommended taking a product like this, and Andrew's is the best. I'm 47 and very paranoid about bad knees and needing knee replacements like my parents. I walk for exercise extensively, and this product has definitely helped my knee. And again, as they say, if I knew I was going to live this long, I should have taken better care of myself. Hopefully we don't end up saying that. This is one of those steps to take good care of yourself now. This is from Jasmine in Arizona, a long review. I'll never run out again. I ran out about 2 weeks ago and was going to wait until Andrew was back on TV so I could get special pricing. My hips and my knees said, no way. After 2 weeks without this phenomenal product, my hips and my knees started aching again. In fact, I was limping because my left hip was bothering me so much. I quickly ordered enough to get me through until Andrew was on TV again. This time, I'm buying enough to last for at least 8 to 12 months, just in case. It is so worth it. Just taking it again for 3 days, I can feel the discomfort lessening in my hips, and it has gone away in my knees altogether. This product is critical for my well-being. Thank you, Andrew, for giving us your very best. And we have probably a couple of hundred reviews that talk about using the product, then stopping using the product, and the difference. Dear Andrew, 2 years ago, my wife and I were involved in a multiple vehicle rollover accident at highway speeds on an interstate highway. Not a fun thing, I would imagine. We have many problems as a result, our spines not being the least of these. Your glucosamine with chondroitin product is helping to give us back our lives. This product does everything you say it does, and so very much more. We take your many other products with the same results. Thank you, Andrew, for helping us get our lives back. From Mark and Gloria. Wow. God bless. And I think a lot of us forget that when we have challenges, we think the only place we really get to go when we have challenges are medications and pharmaceuticals. And yes, medications and pharmaceuticals do wonderful things, but they're not exclusively the only path to benefits, the only path to results. Because remember, our body does an incredible job of taking care of our tissues over the course of our lifetime. We just live longer lives, very demanding lives, so our body sometimes falls behind. But the tools that our body uses are no less important, I think, to focus on than medications. And in the case of an ingredient like this, these are the very structural components of your joints. Just like calcium is a structural component of your bones, these are the very structural components of your joints, glucosamine and chondroitin. So I think it's common sense that the more challenges we have, it's, as I said before, if we're healthy, the way to say thank you for all the benefits of our good health is to take good care of ourselves. That's better than saying thank goodness or thank God. Better thing to do is to take steps and show the gratitude by caring for yourself. And I think if we're challenged, the best thing we could do is understand that those challenges involve tissues and structures, and when it comes to our joints, these are the ingredients that are essential to those structures.
Absolutely, and that's what's so key. And isn't it interesting when you read those reviews or when you read about the science, it does sound like we're talking about a drug, which we're not. We're talking about nature's gifts, gifts that basically give our body exactly what it needs to live a better life. And you know very well, many of you have heard the challenges in my family tree between my dad and my mom. Dad is even having another surgery tomorrow. Again, this is not a medical product, but the doctors for my mom and dad both recommended that they take glucosamine. And the interesting thing is they were taking somebody else's glucosamine and they weren't getting the kind of results that they get with Andrew's. And that's what I love about doing these shows with Andrew. I think we all learn so much, but if you're going to bother to make the right decision, you want to get the world's finest. And basically, price triples after this show. If you were ever going to take advantage of it, it is a feel the difference product for sure. We only do this once a year, and quite frankly, even though you only do it once a year, I have never seen you do savings like this. I really haven't.
No, this is, in 35 years of offering glucosamine, this is the best savings we've ever had. And I was just kind of thinking when you were talking about that I couldn't imagine living my life and doing the things I do and not taking my glucosamine and chondroitin on a daily basis. In fact, it was probably a year or so ago I realized that Muriel wasn't taking the glucosamine chondroitin, and I reacted like, how could you be around me and hear me talk about this and not be taking this product? And certainly I'm 10 years older than Muriel, and she is extremely fit and active, so I have to be able to keep up. So I think all of us need to consider what it is we expect out of our future. And a product like this, when you think of the benefits it provides, it's really affordable. Especially once a year, it becomes extremely affordable. Especially when you consider how expensive glucosamine and chondroitin was about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you'd find it, some places you still do, locked in a security case in the supermarket or certainly in the pharmacies because it was so expensive. It's come down in price dramatically since I introduced it 35 years ago. It's less expensive today than it was then. So it's a great value, and even, as I've often said, even 2 capsules a day, it's not the perfect clinically supported dose, which is the 4 capsules daily, but even 2 capsules a day is still better than 0 capsules per day. Because remember, this is not a drug where you have to get to some threshold amount or you don't benefit at all. This is an ingredient that you provide to your body so it can care for your joints by, if you were, a good analogy is if you were building a brick wall, you better hope somebody delivers bricks and somebody delivers mortar. And that's often what glucosamine and chondroitin are referred to as the bricks and mortar of our joints and our joint tissue.
Absolutely. You know what I think is so interesting, too? When we talk about the benefits of this, and Andrew, I know you've made the comment before, normally with those drug companies, I love that they, show puppies and people walking hand in hand, with all, while they're running their little disclaimers.
Don't even, I now have Muriel paying attention to that. When you watch television and you see these drug commercials, I mean, what I always said, a drug commercial should just be a black and white screen where it tells you what it is, tells you what it does, and it gives you the warnings. Instead, they have puppies and flowers, and they're walking in the park, and they're telling you about risk of sudden death and all sorts of things. To me, it's outrageously misleading, outrageously misleading. And this, again, this is not a drug, this is not a medicine, and drugs and medicines aren't our only path to wellness. In fact, when you hear people say that America spends $1 trillion on health care, or trillions of dollars on health care, we spend $1 trillion, I think, on drugs alone. And trillion, remember, trillion is 1,000 billion. A trillion is a million. That's a big number. And when you think about how much we spend on health care, what I say, it's not health care. that's illness care. Something like this, a healthy diet, exercise, a healthy lifestyle, that's health care. That's wellness care. And those are the products I make. And I scrupulously avoid making what I would consider drug claims or disease claims for my supplements. These are products that, yes, you might have extremely challenged joints. You could have osteoarthritis, you could have hip replacement, knee replacement. This is not going to treat your joints the way a drug would treat your joints. What this provides to your joints are the vital structural components that are part of healthy joints. That challenged joints, by very definition, I believe, need those structural components even more than healthy joints. And if you want to be active and you want to age gracefully, we need to give our body what it requires to take its best care of us.
And I think it's really true. When you hear that information, I guess knowledge is power. And that's why we are so delighted that you're taking advantage of this. And I really want to encourage you to do so. Certainly, if you've been watching Andrew throughout the day, if you're taking this product like I am, you already know how much you love it. And if you're like me, I know you're seeing a significant difference in your life. That's why most of you who are calling are reordering this. And that's why overwhelmingly it has virtually unanimous perfect stars. I mean, it really does. For something that if you don't feel a great result, you're not going to reorder. If you're not feeling your hands feel better, if you're not finding yourself moving easier, if you're not finding going upstairs or standing and sitting or walking or just moving around, the great process of life, if you don't feel a difference, you don't reorder it. And that's why I say, for those of us who love it and already take it, there is no better time than the present. But if you are discovering Andrew's products for the very first time, you really owe it to yourself to be taking the world's finest, because not all glucosamine is created alike. And certainly after this show, remember, we've got about an hour, a little over an hour left in this live remote, which we're privileged to do. We love that Andrew invites us into his state-of-the-art facility. Again, no carbon footprint when he creates these products, which is pretty amazing.
No carbon footprint at all. In fact, what we're also in the process of doing in Arkansas right now, I bought there was a bunch of clear-cut forest land in Arkansas where people went in and just clear-cut all the forest.
Wow.
So I bought the land, and we're planting trees, the trees to offset the carbon footprint of all our shipments. So now not only will we have no carbon footprint at our facility, which we don't, because we produce all our own energy, that will make sure that every time you get a delivery from us, we'll have offset your carbon footprint by planting trees. So, we'll give more information about that, but that's just another thing I want to do to make sure that when you enjoy the benefits of our products, you know they're made the best they can be, they're made responsibly, but I just want you to know that they're made ethically and with an intent to give you benefits, but not in doing so, in not affecting our planet adversely. A lot of industries, a lot of companies, a lot of very big companies, they exert a very significant negative environmental impact. I'd rather have no impact at all. So that's what we do.
Indeed. And remember, we do an abbreviated airing of the Today's Special next hour, because we've got a lot of things planned for you. And remember, the price basically triples on this value after this show. So choose either glucosamine chondroitin or turmeric ginger root. Great savings regardless. But what most of us are doing is, of course, the bundles, because for all intents and purposes, it's like getting the turmeric for free, or if you're choosing to get the turmeric and then you're adding on with the bundle, it's basically like getting the glucosamine for free. So after today, remember, just as an example, the 600 count is normally wonderful pricing at basically $240. It's actually less money to get the bundle.
Actually, we're going to have to make, I just found out, unfortunately we have enough raw materials, we're going to have to make more than probably 5 or 6 million extra capsules of glucosamine, because we ran out of, literally that's like 10,000 bottles of the large size.
Yeah.
So fortunately we are the manufacturer, we're going to be able to do it. I'll let you know if any sizes or configurations are in jeopardy, but right now we're all good. I just want to read a few more reviews. But the one thing that after midnight tonight, the prices on all the different things go up by at least double, some cases even more. So this is from Sue in California. Good results with glucosamine. A fellow coworker urged me to purchase the glucosamine because I have had one knee replacement, which I would not have done if I had been more aware of this product. I'm not sure if it replaces a knee replacement, but that's Sue saying so. Maybe she means if she would have cared for her knee for a longer time beforehand. And along with my other knee, both are very prone to discomfort at night, causing me to lose sleep quite frequently. After receiving and taking the glucosamine for 1 week, I felt a great improvement in my non-replaced knee. I would recommend anyone who is researching having a knee replacement to first try this product. It has worked for me and could work for anyone else. Of course, You do that working closely with your physician because, at some point, structural requirements are going to dictate whether you have a knee replacement or not, and a supplement can't substitute for a required knee replacement. But as I said before, whether your knees are challenged or your hips are challenged, whatever it might be, whether you've had a knee replacement, these are just the structural components that healthy joints and challenged joints have in common. And to the extent we want those joints, in whatever state they are, to work their very best, these are critical ingredients for them to work their very best. So it's pretty straightforward. Not a drug, not a medicine, not a replacement for surgery. Would not be without. I can't imagine what it would be like without this product. Within days of taking this product, made a huge difference in my back discomfort. Like many, I read the reviews and thought, how is this possible? After researching and listening to Andrew, I ordered and have not looked back. I think the more you learn about glucosamine and chondroitin and the science that supports it, which I spent, I think, the first half hour here going over, the more confident you feel. My wife and I are firm believers in the benefits of this product. Unlike other brands, these capsules are easy to swallow and are easy on the stomach. All ultrafine powder, they dissolve instantly. Most importantly, Andrew's glucosamine with chondroitin delivers results. We know this has been extremely beneficial for our joints. Keep up the great work, Andrew. In fact, these charts are sticking. This product works. After knee surgery and extensive physical therapy 2 years later, I was still in pain. I tried other glucosamine and chondroitin supplements, but they always upset my stomach. This product works. The difference in my joint health is measurable. I get all the benefits this supplement offers without the side effect of an upset stomach. We hear that all the time. Will not live without. I have 2 torn ACLs, and I feel they help keep the injury site lubricated. I feel less discomfort in my knees, and I'm not going to live without this. If you have joint problems, give it a solid try.
Absolutely. And, again, people would not be reordering this product if it weren't a feel-the-difference product indeed. So I hope that you take advantage of it. I know you've been armed with information, but remember, not all glucosamine is created alike. This is the world's finest. And if you were going to choose to select it, as Andrew indicated, after midnight, all of the special purchase pricing, not just on this, but all the items that we're featuring throughout the show and throughout the visit.
Everything.
Everything.
Well, we should also emphasize that all of my products during a visit, all of my products are on special purchase pricing. A couple of products have New Year's pricing.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have the Today Special today, which all of those prices go back to their normal HSN price at midnight tonight. So if you're interested in other products, now's the time to save on all of the products. Plus, of course, everything during the visit comes with free shipping and handling across the board.
Absolutely, because, the security got to me. They said I can't take my purse and leave the factory with a bag full of goodies.
Are you already dumping? Ed, you must have learned that. From Colleen.
See, I only learned from the best.
Because it was very funny. I'd be talking about a product that, say, Colleen had never tried, and we have the little bottles out here. So the camera would come to me, and I'd be talking, and the next thing I know, out of the corner of my eye, I'd watch Colleen emptying the bottle into her purse, just emptying the capsules, not taking the bottle, emptying the capsules into her purse. You've learned from the best.
I have. Great inspiration. All right. Well.